What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky third-party Legends Scale Transformers review, we're going to be taking a look at the new from NewAge Military Operations Commander number 35, Cyclops. And that is their version, of course, of normal G1 Shockwave. And I say normal because they have variants, of course. They'll have the black variant out later for whatever that guy was called, Galaxy Man, whatever the heck it was called. You got some very interesting artwork here. Not really G1-esque, but kind of G1-esque. I mean, it's got the G1 grid style thing happening on this side. You know, pretty cool. And then things back here where Bumblebee's going up against him. Now, I do apologize in advance, guys. I don't have a lot of figures out at the moment to compare them to, but I might be able to at least swing, like, a couple, because I'm in the middle of packing up the Shoky cave. So, that is what it is. Now, you do get instructions and whatnot. I don't know where I set that. I think there's probably still on the desk. Oh, no. Instructions are actually in here. Here's what's funny about it. I barely used the instructions. I did not do an out-the-box video because I don't know how much you guys are actually liking that, but it was actually kind of fun. You can't see this at all. I apologize. So, instructions are mostly good. There's a couple spots here like, what? And then there's a couple things that I forgot to remove while I was in here. A couple accessories that will come up here once we actually look at the thing. So let me just kind of pack all this up temporarily because this guy's going right back in the packaging. Excuse me, when we're done. So, yay! Okay, but the packaging and stuff out of the way. Here we go. There is our Shockwave. Now, one thing that sucks is I already got Megatron packed away, or I could have compared him to Megatron in gun mode. But it's pretty cool. It's very good, at least in my opinion. G1 representation of his, or yeah, I guess G1 representation of his alt mode. Give me a second here. I gotta turn that down. For some reason, my settings look really funky today. I don't know if my light meter is dirty or something. Could be. But either way, looks good. Got some translucent here. Got some other bits. The only thing I don't like is this hollowness of the handle that serves a purpose, but it's annoying. You do get, I don't think the whole thing is painted, but I think the whole thing is clear coated or pearl coated, because you can see he's got a nice kind of sheen to him. Very much the way Galvatron did. Very similar color, in fact, I guess. Does have translucent up here, and he does have a light up feature that I can show in the gun mode here. He also has this rubber tube, which is annoying because it's attracting every little bit of dust. It's kind of gross, if I'm honest with you. You know, white-ish, pearl white-ish paint here. Looks pretty good. Translucent pink for the reticle. Pretty cool. And if you have probably some larger bots, probably hold him. In theory, you could probably put him in the hand of like a MP combiner. It'd be a small gun, but he could hold it for sure. But he also has an option in this mode. It comes with this cool base. You can see translucent, says NewAge. I wish it didn't say NewAge because you could at least pass it off. It's got all these translucent booblés going on here for whatever reason, just for effect. It does have two plugs, one right here in the middle and one off center right there. This main one is what we're going to be using right there. So if you have a spudger handy, which everybody should just go buy a couple spudgers off of Amazon or wherever it is you want to buy spudgers, but they're super useful, especially for Transformers, but I find them useful for Gundams as well. So if you come in here, you actually have a slot right there, and it will match up with the stand, and then you can close up your leg, and now you've got him on a stand. That's pretty cool. And you can, if you wanted to, you know, utilize that connector and have him in a, you know, like, I guess in G1 when he was in the first episode, I don't know if he was supposed to be like keeping an eye on stuff or what he was technically doing, but you know, he was in this mode. You know, he could be an interstellar cannon or whatever. But that's pretty neat. I do like that. Now that also has a single plug on it, but I don't think that is meant for this mode, and there's only one like hole that seems to work for it, and it's this one, and that is for a very specific purpose that we will look at later. Now, once again, I mentioned a light up feature, so I'm going to show that off. So you can pop this guy open, and by the way, I will show off different versions for this, and I will probably interject right here. All right, guys, as I'm just inserting this part of the video here because I'm going to talk about the light here in a minute. So thing is, you need to know how and where to insert the batteries. So realistically, when you've got the actual end of the gun open, you turn it here. One, that's a switch. Obviously, we're going to cover that. But you have to remove the lens. So if you have a little itty bitty screwdriver, and I mean tiny little screwdriver, like a watch set, you push the lens out, and then here is the entire little circuit board and the LED facing that way. You have an itty bitty Phillips head. Now, if you don't have anything that small, a little bitty flathead works fine. That's what I did. Insert your batteries. They are CR927s. I just happen to have them, I believe, actually from, I think, I could be wrong, because I've had to buy so many different batteries for so many different small transformers. Those might actually be from the reflector set. So, and then of course with the lens, you just want to insert it back in there like that. I mean, it's just a light friction fit, so it should be good. Now I'm in the middle of transforming him back to robot mode so I can actually start the review. So this is how YouTube time travel actually works. So actually it's to film the Taro video. So I'm almost there, but I just wanted to film this while I was here and had easier access than trying to do it mid review. So there you go. Now back to whatever it is I was showing you at the time I inserted this. Okay. How to access and put in batteries and stuff like that. But I assume I did it right there. So you see right up in here, which is really hard to see because there's no light getting to it. Right there is a tiny little button. I really wish they had put something out here or could utilize the hand or any kind of mechanism to reach in here and turn on. You push it once. Just go ahead and close it up. And you get an LED doing a thing. Now it's off to one side, which I find kind of silly, and it's not even centered. Nor is it diffused really that well. But hey, they gave you something. I'll give them credit for that. And then if you push it again, it will pulse. And I thought it would pulse and then go off, but maybe it just keeps pulsing. At some point, I'm sure it will turn off on its own. But if you... Did it go off? I think it went off. Okay. Otherwise, you could just push it again, and it will just automatically turn off. But like I said, you know, you got to have the right battery, you got to have a tiny screwdriver, all that kind of stuff to make that happen. Now, for size comparison in this mode, if we want, we could actually bring in Wally here. By the way, guys, we're about to move, like, really, really soon. Like, in less than 2 weeks. And I think I'm going to redo my lighting to make it make more sense. But there we can have Wally utilizing Shockwave as a giganto cannon, though. Actually, I'm going to get a picture of that, because it might be a better shot than what I had for the original Taro shot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get him transformed up. Now there's no good way to split this if you have that on there, except to go through here or through there. This spot, I'm guessing, is specifically made so that you can do this, and it is a very tight fit. So you got to be careful. Pull straight out to the side, wiggle, and then release. So we'll bring that back here in a few minutes. So as it goes, just go ahead and split that open. You can tilt it down just a little bit for clearance sake, because it's going to get a little wonky. So right here, you get a side panel that's just clipped in to right here in the side of the thigh. And flip those up, and then you can kick the reticle up along with this little panel. Go ahead and turn that sideways for the time being, and then you can just lift the entire thing up and out of the way for right now. Then we're going to come down to the legs, which, you know, we got this going on. Originally, these were super tight, but now after a few transformations, the peg that holds them together is much looser. So just get a little bit of spread going on here. Now, this is the most disconcerting thing. So this has to extend. And it's on a slider that's kind of got the weird little round clip in place to, you know, when you slide to one end or the other, it goes, you know. the best way I've found, because if you just yank on it, you're putting all the pressure on this screw that's holding it together. So what I tend to do is pull down from the outside and push up from the inside to get that slider to go, until you do that. Now this has a lot of play in it, and that scares me, so that's why I won't just yank on it, because that's just got too much play. And I don't think that's a fault. I think that's meant to be that way, but that's too thin a plastic to trust. So you can flip out your toe, come around to the front. This will double hinge back into place, and then you rotate, line up your peg holes, and just close up your leg, like so. Now we'll do this the same way we did before, and just sort of pull back, push forward, and you can hear click, 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 click. Flip out your toe, flip this in, line up your pegs. Oh, yeah, always make sure your toes are clear, or else you can't close that. All right, so now we've got him just diving, essentially. So let's raise up just a little bit. Now, I will say there might be a little bit of color correction happening here. He is actually a little bit more purple than blue than he looks on camera. So hopefully I can adjust that in post, and we'll see. All right, so the other thing, go ahead and open the gun just like we did before to check out the thing. Go ahead and fold this down. You can close up the gun at this point. Separate the arms. There's just a peg holding them together. And then as you're separating them, there's a little T-shaped clip in there that's plugging into the little recess for the forearm. And then you swivel this out, kind of. Actually, go ahead and get that out of your way. So we're swiveling this out. Just watch out for this area right there. Just come up and around. Bring the shoulder down. With the clowns from out of town. Sorry, that's a Bobby Skullface thing. All right. Now the arms are oriented the way they need to be, so but I turn this hand for clearance sake. It does not turn very freely, so that's usually what happens. It does not want to turn. I don't know if it's a mold issue or the fact that there's like some teeth, so to speak, inside that wrist area. It's translucent wrist. Okay, so now we need to come back here. I'm going to fold this flat enough so I can work with what I got here. Push this back just a little bit so that you can access these little flappy doos. And these are very stiff right out of the box. They're still kind of stiff. This one, the L as it is loosening up. R is still pretty tight. So we're going to flip this up and very carefully get the head out. I don't think I realized how open that. See right here, I'm already contacting. So there's not a ton of clearance between the head and that chest section. So once you get it up, just keep going and it will snug into place and fill out the chest hole. Now, one thing I just realized when I said chest hole, look at this. There's a giant hole underneath there. But it's pretty cool how they did this. And this is something I don't see a whole lot of Shockwaves do, regardless of who made it. They utilize this usually as the backpack. This guy, on the other hand, turns it into the chest filler. And as soon as I saw that, engineering-wise, I was like, that is neat. So you want to fold this up, and we're just going to insert it into the chest. And then you're going to utilize all your little hingy friends here. It feels a little snug as you're doing that, but that's okay. Now you say, oh, this is ugly, Shoky. What are you going to do about that? I'm going to fix it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rotate this way. So that the decorative side is out. It was mistransformed out of the box. Out of the box, it was like this, and it just looks ugly. There ain't nothing going on there. And so that's going to just kind of slot around that T-tab. And fold these guys up here. And now you've got a tab here that will grab onto that. And line over here, grab onto that. And there we go. I mean, he's still got his backpack, but you're hiding all of that. You know? I like that. I like that a lot. And there we go. Now we got our Shockwave boy in robot mode. And I think he looks fantastic. Now, once again, I say my coloring and my lighting is off by a bit today. And once again, I'm very worried about getting stuff done so that I can move effectively. And everything I review currently is basically going to go right back in a box, like as soon as it's done. But this guy's awesome. Let's look at this head sculpt here. Very G1-esque. Looks nice. The only thing that sucks about it is a translucent eyepiece. Now I will do my best. Like, if you can get it to light up, like, that is awesome. Unfortunately, they didn't light pipe this in a way that really does work. So I'm basically going to paint that yellow or gold. But I like that you got the blue surround around it instead of black. Black would have worked out fine. You do have some fantastic texturing going on here along with that. I'm guessing this is silver and then this is translucent pink like this. It's kind of hard to tell whether it's pink paint or not. But either way, he does have an ab crunch, which, I mean, he just completely bends over. He does have unfortunate screw and pinhole exposure around the back side. Not much you can do about it. It's there. The arms are on ball joints. You can only do so much with this one because of the hose that's attached. You do have to attach the hose yourself. Plugs on here, plugs on there. It does have an unsightly tab out this side. I mean, there's not much you can do about that except to try to hide a tab, you know, or hide a slot hole. You get bicep rotation and single jointed elbow. That is good for over 90 degrees. You do have hidden screw spots there that I thought were buttons, like this should light up, which I thought would be cool, but nope. But he does have translucent gun. I wish they'd given you a solid version, but it is what it is. Hips can swivel. You do get hip skirts that are individually articulated, which is nice. Even side skirts, which are articulated. So with those out of the way, you can come up all the way for a great chorus line. You can go all the way back like so. And something I feel like I have not said in a long time, more than perfect Jean-Claude. Gotta love that. Once again, exposed pins, kind of ugly, but you know, it is what it is. Thigh rotation, it's perfectly good. Single jointed knee that only gets you to 90, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. It's just, this is one of those ones where I can't justify them trying to force it past that. You know, you'd have to have a hollow area back here or try to justify a double jointed knee there somehow. And it's just one of those ones where I don't need it, you know, as much as I think other people probably would. You do get the toe articulation, but mostly up. And then you get rotation that way, but not so much the other way. Nope, definitely does not rotate the other way, which I guess is fine because it really wouldn't. So you can get him in a decent stance. Yeah. Like so. Now he does have accessories that I forgot about, which I had to pull out. You guys saw me pull those out of the box, which is quite funny in my own mind. I'm going to see if I can adjust this ever so slightly. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so he does have himself as a weapon, which I always thought was interesting. He has a literal tiny version of himself. A little hollow under the underside, but it is what it is. Also, I guess if the only place you could store that would be right there. So that wouldn't work too well. And he can hold that perfectly fine. And that is G1 accurate. I mean, that's what he do. It is painted all around there, which is fine. I can live with that. What else can we do? Oh, yes, I forgot. He does come with his karate chopping hand, or saluting hand, I guess is probably what it technically is. This is the hand that got the Facebook posts in trouble. I guess in general, somebody really wasn't paying attention when they created the original photo shoot for this guy, and got a lot of people in hot water. And if it didn't get him in hot water, it should have, because he can wave high. He can, in fact, karate chop. Chop, chop, chop. He can slap something on the booty. He can slap himself. You know, if he's going to laugh. You can get him to salute, sort of. And then we're not going to do the thing that people were very, very upset about on the line. Oh, by the way, I forgot the shoulders can technically come up a lot easier than that. So yeah, he can do the things. For the most part, the regular holding hand is good enough for me. except for having to insert it into the translucent plastic bit. Excuse me. Now, there's one interesting feature. Its chest can technically light up now. So, pop this open. Just kind of get this out of the way. And you can access the switch right through there. It's kind of cool that they give you enough room for that. And then can just sort of close it up. And you got another light up chest. It's like a very specific light up spot, but here, let me see. It's pretty good. If it was on center, it'd be better. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Battery's dying. Okay, so I got the battery replaced. Okay, so other things it can do. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to compare him to Soundwave. He's right here. Good old Soundy Wavy. Soundwave boy. Looks good, except it literally doesn't know where to focus. There we go. So, yeah, he's good size. He was always a bigger bot anyways. Like I said, I'm in the middle of packing, so not a lot of robots are currently out. Also, super dusty. And then, now the last thing you can do, you can still take the base here. Like I said, this thing has a plug on it, but they don't tell you what to do with that. You can leave this plugged in, and then they give you a vertical upright piece here, which is very much the same thing that they gave us with the Seekers. And just depending on how you want to do this, probably do that number. You can utilize the secondary hole here. There's actually two smaller holes, but you don't really have to do anything with those. And you can turn this down. You do have a pluggy plug. Go right up in here. And you can actually get them on the stand. And in theory, you could use the Space Bridge stands if you want to. I mean, that would kind of make sense as well. But that's very interesting that they gave us this display option, you know? Pretty dang cool, in my opinion. You know, I'd say bring this back here. I wish his cannon, so to speak, was bigger, but it is what it is. I don't think Shockwave ever made it to Earth, did he? Or if he did, it was like after the Space Bridge was completed. But he was left behind for millions of years on Cybertron. He was just like, Cybertron's yours. I'm like, cool. I'm just going to create an entire subservient class of robots. The only thing that sucks about it, because it's plugging into the backpack, you don't really get a whole lot of your articulation out of it. But it's pretty good. Like I said, I wish the eye would light up. In fact, it does look dead. So I think I'm going to paint that either gold or bright yellow. Probably bright yellow. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I like that. And like I said, that one has a plug that's the same size. Just don't know exactly what that's for. Now, in theory, you could also plug this right there for storage sake. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Hold on. That's very tight, by the way. In theory, you could plug that there. Let's see. I'll plug it this way. Maybe not. It's actually not the same size at all. I was wrong. Ignore everything I say. Review is crap. It's crap review, guys. Either way, I like this one. I really do. The Magic Square, I saw a couple of reviews on the Magic Square one. It's fine. I think its gun mode might be superior, but I'm going to say that this alt mode is better. In my mind, my opinion, you don't have to agree with me. His light up feature is pretty cool. I love the way that the engineering stuffs this into the backpack, and he still keeps his generator backpack, which I like, you know. I digs that. I do wish that my camera knew what to do with this purple. Like, it has yet to show it in the proper purple that it is. It's going to be hard. I think part of it is the pearl, and part of it is just the lighting. Plus, I'm trying to adjust for my skin color. So, maybe. I don't know. But, guys, that's going to be it for this review. I got to get going. I got to go buy tacos. Also, I got to figure out where I'm going to put some Decepticon decals. Like, I know he wears them on his forearms, which is fine. But I'm stuck with like the itty bitty ones, and I kind of want the big ones. So it's like one thing I want from repro labels, which is what these are, is sets of whole things. Like, I want all this size Decepticon logo. It's one thing they don't really do. But either way, I'll catch you guys next time. And yes, I know they have individual faction sheets, but it's a different story. Either way. But I'll catch you guys next time. Go check out the rest of the New Age playlist and all that goodness. Because there's plenty of videos over there. And guys, I'm going to be kind of on hiatus for a little while. Hopefully you won't notice too much while we get moved. Because I'm both getting rid of stuff, packing stuff away, and relocating the Shoky cave entirely, to a all new place, and then trying to figure out how things are going to be displayed, how things are going to be reviewed. So I'm just letting y'all know now, which will probably be right in the middle of us moving was when this video will come out. But I'll catch you guys next time. Oh, and subscribe to the secondary channel to go watch the Taro video, which I completely forgot to mention. But it'll usually be linked up in the card. If it's not, it's at the end credits. But I'll see you guys then. Bye.